Sorry about that. I was clicking open some windows, made sure the light was on. The incredibly, intricate studio lighting. Good morning, everybody. It's Friday. As y'all know, I took yesterday off because it was snowing quite a bit yesterday. It didn't snow as bad as we thought it would, but it's like, screw it. I got days to use. I'm going to use them. I didn't feel like driving in that crap. Also, Lady G, be careful this morning. There are some slick spots out there every now and then where the snow is blown back on the road and frozen, but salt trucks are running. Okay, first off, it was Marcus Gilbert who passed away. And I reread the article and all that. He played Anselin in Battlefield. And he also, I couldn't believe I had completely forgotten this, he played Arthur in Army of Darkness. I had completely forgotten that was the same actor who played Anselin in Battlefield. Sadly, Marcus Gilbert has passed away. But a lot of people have worked on Doctor Who all through the years, and it's very hard to keep track. Like Lady D's like, you should, what about birthday announcements? I'm like, and all the death announcements and all. I was like, look, whenever I get a chance, and I remember them, I'll put them out there. But there are so many people who have tied into this show going back to '63 that it's very difficult to track. All right, which two cast members of Stranger Things are you meeting? That's interesting. Well, yeah, a lot of those guys are going to be on the skids now looking for work because, of course, like I said, the reason why they wrote 50 billion endings is they're hoping to get a spin-off off this show is what I think it is. I know there's a series of books coming out revolving around one character, but come on, why do you think they threw that crap in that 11 may have survived? Because if things really start to tank at Netflix, they're going to try to revive this shit. Ugh. It's a modern day version of blah, 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 blah. Okay. Mike's mom. I can't remember which character was Mike, but I think I know which actress. Okay. I'm not kidding. I thought that was a good show, but then that ending was ridiculous. They 2-hour ending finale, and the last over an hour of it was all shit that happened after they defeated the main villain. They should have just cut to the part with the higher graduation and all that, and saved ourselves a lot of time because. Mark, it's a good series. I recommend it, especially if you're into 80s stuff. I don't want to give away too much. Like I said, it's a really good series. But then, of course, towards the end, they started throwing in a bunch of politically correct crap. Such and such is now gay, such and such is now gay. And like I said, it's like, it didn't matter to me. I don't care if they're gay or not. I just care what the character's doing on the show. I don't care what they're doing off on the side. Me, I have nothing against gay, lesbian, bisexual, whatever you are. As long as you're doing your thing, I don't care. Just like with why did we have to know Dumbledore was gay? What did that have to do with anything this guy did in the Harry Potter movies? Other than the fact we find out at the end that Dumbledore was really kind of an asshole. But don't worry, it doesn't get that bad to the point. It just, like I said, just little things they started doing towards the end. And like I said, the ending was the first hour they had the plot, the things to resolve, the main bad guy's gone, and then they went over an hour of goodbye shit. And I'm like, is this over yet? Is this over yet? It was kind of like the Lord of the Rings after they got back yelling, is this the ending? Is this the ending? Is this the ending? Like, ugh. All right, you're thinking about the Ronnie, Vincent. And Ronnie was, basically one of my biggest complaints was the Ronnie was nothing like the Master in the old series. Yet RTD had her acting just like the Master. That like I said, that's what made me upset. It's not the actors who played her. It's not the actors. And also, the bi-generation bullshit got old when they did it with Shooty and David Tennant. Yet, they did it again. And I'm like this is going to happen all the damn time now. And that's one of my biggest problems I had with him bringing back the Ronnie. And Omega being a mind-sucking skeleton zombie or whatever. I'm like, or people eating. I'm like, what the hell is this crap? And then, like I said, Sutek being taken for walkies until he dies. Oh, man, it just... Well, yeah, that was just one incarnation of the Ronnie that got eaten. But like I said, I just don't get into the whole bi-generation shit. I thought it was stupid. It was just an easy way to get, Shooty in there that much earlier and go, oh, look, I fooled you. Oh, look, I fooled you. And I don't have to kill David Tennant off again. There's now how many incarnations of David Tennant running around the universe? Oy vey. And the whole country's going bananas. I swear it's just insane. I should put up like a Deadpool on countries. How long do you think for the UK has a civil war? How long do you think for the US has a civil war? And start taking bets. I got 30-1 that we don't make it till June. Yeah, he really screwed up the Ronnie in the last season. He really did. Completely screwed it up. Completely screwed up Omega, completely screwed up Sutek, and completely screwed up the Ronnie. Why not? I can believe it, Black Phoenix, that he would do a Christmas special with all three versions of Tenet Doctor. I know, it never worked. It was crap. It was just a convenient excuse, to not have Tenet regenerate. I didn't want to let go of him again. I can hear him saying that right now. Wonder if they've ever done any. I wonder if he's done some new videos for Instagram where both he and Oliver Cole are walking kind of funny. But okay. But oh yeah, I hope you have a good time meeting Nicola Bryant. Like I said, I've never spoken to her directly. She's never been at a con that I've been at. Yes, it's a vape. Thank you very much. And I'm down to 3 milliliter on nicotine, which is next to 0. And I've been that way for a few years now. I die laughing because all the latest commercials now, there's formaldehyde in vapes. I'm like, no, but there's formaldehyde in cigarettes. I love how they're trying to paint vapes in the same picture. But like I said, if you're not on a nicotine product right now, don't start. The only reason I'm doing this is because this is the lesser of two evils. This is how I quit smoking. Okay, this is how I stay off smoking. And that's why they want vapes shelved and gone, especially Big Pharma, because nobody's buying nicotine gum anymore. Yeah, but it's more in Big Pharma than it is Big Tobacco, because this is still cheaper than nicotine gum. Trust me on that. Yeah, if you've never smoked, don't start. Don't vape, don't smoke, don't do any of that. But if you want to quit smoking, this really helped. That's why I tell people I see smoking, I said, look, there's like 1,000 chemicals now in here. There's like 6 chemicals in what I got right here. And it's listed on the ingredients. What's in it? Not one of them's formaldehyde. Ugh. But they do put formaldehyde in cigarettes. Ugh. Okay, they may be announcing everything. And how come people are still falling for the bonus mystery episode bullshit? They tried doing that with Stranger Things now, where they said there's a mystery bonus episode that was airing the following week that wasn't announced. I'm like, Yeah, right. Like that wouldn't have leaked. It's like, come on. Ugh. Well, Timeless Children, I didn't mind too much because it brought another layer of mystery to the Doctor's character. So I wasn't going to throw a fit about it or go nuts on it. I was kind of hoping it would turn out that either Susan's the Timeless Child and the Doctor got in trouble for covering for it, or something like that, or somebody programmed the Matrix to say it was the Doctor. That way people would go after the Doctor and not after who is truly a Timeless Child. Because it's kind of funny how Rassilon has never-ending regeneration, yet up until a point we didn't think the Doctor did. Yeah, the secret final episodes of Sherlock and Supernatural. I know Fallout's doing very, very well. The episode, I'm not necessarily the game. The game's kind of got boring again. Fallout 76. They were far too generous with giving away mods, legendary mods. Probably because the only people you can get 4 stars now if you can do the raids, and they're gouging people now on selling them. I know, minor problems. Don't worry about it. It's not going to affect the rest of the world. That's always a possibility, but the problem is when you're using AI for certain things, you've got to worry about likeness rights. You've got to worry about copyrights of every kind. When you, like, everyone's like, why don't they take Big Finish and turn it visual? Because then you're transferring from one type of media to another, and that's a big legal issue. Trust me, it's a whole complicated bunch of legal crap that you don't really want to get into. Because now you've got to contact Troughton's estate, if you want to do Troughton episodes, Hartnell's estate if you want to do Hartnell, same thing with Pertwee, and so on. Tom Baker probably wouldn't give a shit, come on, as long as he gets a little cut of it. Okay, so they are finally going to try to animate Marco Polo. That's one everyone's been hoping for, but like I said, it's like, and the scary part is that one was the most commonly distributed back in the day. They thought for sure they'd find that one first. That was a big one, if I remember right. I've seen the Telesnaps version. I had to watch it in pieces because I don't know why, but when I watch Telesnaps, I fall asleep. And it's not the problem with the writing or anything. It's just, I don't know, something about Telesnaps makes you want to go, ugh. Well, I'm still hoping they find a lot more missing episodes, but like I said, there's all these top secret, remember when they supposedly found a bunch more? We haven't heard anything about that in a while, have we? I'm going to have to do some more digging on that, see if anyone's heard anything more about it. I don't know why, yeah, but the animations are easier on me as well, so. I know some of them have been kind of cheesy, but like I said, you still get the story. Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, that whole thing kind of disappeared rather quickly, didn't it? So I'm hoping, that it wasn't another hoax, because we haven't heard about that in a little while. Creature from the Pit, that's a very interesting episode. Like I said, it's him, Lala Ward, K9. I think that was during the K9's weird voice era, if I remember correctly. Right? John Leeson, I don't think, was doing it then. Yeah, I'm doing the... Seska finished Classic Who? Okay. But like I said, it's sad we lost. Yeah, the Marcus Gilbert. Yeah, he played Anselin in Battlefield. One of the later parts of Doctor Who. Philip's mom has him in his basement. I'd believe that. I don't know if I can go around seriously with a name like Philip Morris. It's nothing against him. It's just Philip Morris here in the United States is a major tobacco company. I think they put out like Marlboro and stuff like that. That's why when I hear Philip Morris, I'm like, oh God, I used to. Now I can't even stand the smell of cigarettes, man. I just can't. People are like, how come you sit out way over there and not here with us? I'm like, hey, look, it's not anything against people. It's, well, okay, I'm not a big fan of people in most cases, but it's just I don't want to go home smelling like cigarettes when I don't smell, I don't smoke them anymore. I don't want to inhale secondary hand smoke when I don't want to inhale first-hand smoke anymore. Yeah, they're allegedly working on Fallout 5 and all that, but I guarantee you they're going to use the same engine again. But okay, I just looked at the time. I am way over. I got to get going. So please, be kind, be calm, be safe. Enjoy the rest of your day. We will see you all again on Monday. So take care, everyone. Have a great Friday. And we'll hold, like I said, we'll see you again when the weekend's up. Take care.